The Prisoner of Beauty, once criticized as a step back for the historical romance genre, made a stunning comeback overnight as its finale aired, triggering an emotional storm and propelling the hashtag The Prisoner of Beauty ending to #1 on the hot search. Yet beneath the outrage lies a deeper question: when sacrifice fails to serve narrative or character development, does it lose all meaning? 1. When tragedy becomes noise, the deaths of Wei Liang and Qiao Fan. The series intricately weaves a tale of love, war, and vengeance, but the final twist, the sudden, unjustified deaths of fan favorite characters Wei Liang, the comic relief, and Qiao Fan, Elder Qiao, left viewers not weeping, but bewildered. Wei Liang, the loyal, bumbling sidekick who brought light to the political shadows, is killed over a sprig of orchid, a wedding gift he wanted to give his beloved Qiao Dao. His death served no grand purpose, no emotional climax, just a senseless sacrifice in the name of sentimentality. Similarly, Qiao Fan, once seen as selfish and controlling, jumps to her death in protest of becoming a political pawn. While some applaud her character evolution, the lack of emotional groundwork renders the moment hollow. Her death felt more like a scriptwriter's shortcut than a meaningful resolution. 2. Love born from war, crushed by it. The relationship between Wei Liang and Qiao Dao was a refreshing breath in a world of scheming nobles. Pure, humorous, and painfully human, theirs was a love story not of kingdoms but of shared glances and wildflowers. Yet this love was also the first casualty of war, as if the writers wanted to emphasize that no love survives the battlefield. That may hold truth, but the way this love story ended, with Wei Liang's trivial death and Qiao Dao mourning at his grave, promising never to remarry, felt dated and weak. In a time where audiences crave emotional resonance, their heartbreak was disappointingly unearned. 3. Empress Nga, the villain with a beating heart. While many main characters faded under poor writing, Nga Huang emerged as a surprise favorite. Once a cold political player, her gradual realization that Liu Yan truly loved her, not as a pawn but as a person, gave her rare depth. Her final act, committing suicide after losing all power and discovering her own suppressed feelings, struck viewers harder than many heroic deaths. In Nga Huang, we saw a villain who wasn't evil, just desperate. Her arc suggests a radical idea: emotion transcends good and evil. 4. The triumph of Wei Shao, victory or illusion? Wei Shao ends the series as the conqueror, uniting Central Plains, fathering a child with Zhao Man, and seemingly achieving peace. But at what cost? His best friend Wei Liang is dead. His army shattered. His wife gave birth amid fire and ash. And though peace has been restored, it rests on the graves of the people he loved. Can this truly be called a happy ending? Many viewers argue that his triumph is merely cosmetic, a painted-over tragedy. 5. A new perspective, the show dares to tell the truth about war. What makes Conglong truly fascinating isn't just the drama, but its brutal honesty. The show refuses to spoon-feed viewers with a happy ever after. It does not shy away from killing beloved characters, even if it enrages the audience. In doing so, it reinforces a chilling truth: war spares no one, not love, not laughter, not innocence. Perhaps the deaths we deem unjustified were never meant to satisfy, but to discomfort. To remind us that real-life wars don't offer closure, only casualties. 6. Viewers want more than tears, they want meaning. The show's core problem isn't its tragic tone, it's the lack of emotional build-up. Tragedy can be powerful, but only if earned. Viewers will cry if they believe the character's journey led naturally to that end. In Conglong, too many deaths come too suddenly, too cheaply. They don't resonate, they simply happen. A successful tragedy is one that lingers not for its shock, but for its logic, its necessity. That's what the show misses, and what today's savvy audiences expect. Conclusion: film is a mirror of its times. Conglong, The Prisoner of Beauty proves that audiences are no longer passive. They don't need sugar-coated conclusions, but they do demand substance. They accept sacrifice, as long as it's meaningful. The backlash it generated is not a failure, but evidence of success. People talked, debated, even raged. And in doing so, they gave the show more power than any polished ending could. In the end, perhaps that was the point. What did you think of Conglong's ending? Did the writers go too far, or did they simply reflect an uncomfortable truth? Leave your thoughts in the comments and share this article if you believe this perspective deserves to be heard. The finale of The Prisoner of Beauty was everything and nothing at once, a sweeping conclusion that crowned Qiao Man and Wei Xiao with peace and legacy, while simultaneously shattering the fates of fan favorites Wei Liang and Qiao Fan. But as netizens erupted with the trending hashtag The Prisoner of Beauty ending, a deeper debate unfolded. Did these characters truly deserve such cruel send-offs? Or were their sacrifices hollow, written purely for shock? A love fulfilled, a war survived, Man and Shao's bittersweet triumph. For viewers who have followed the journey of Qiao Man, Song Zhe, and Wei Xiao, Lu Yuning, the final episode delivered the long-awaited resolution. After countless battles and betrayals, the two finally find peace, cradling their newborn daughter Fei, ruling over a newly unified Central Plains. This emotionally rich closure wasn't just a victory for the couple, but a payoff for the patience of the audience. Wei Xiao, once cold and calculating, softened through love. Qiao Man, a woman born of strategy, chose humanity and sacrifice. Their ending was not just happy, it was earned. But at what cost? The tragedy of Wei Liang and Qiao Fan. The heartbreak, however, came from where few expected it. Wei Liang, the beloved comic relief, was mercilessly killed while trying to buy an orchid as a wedding gift. His death felt not heroic, but random. Fans mourned not just the character, but what his death symbolized, an unearned tragedy that tore apart his wholesome romance with Xiao Dao. Similarly, Qiao Fan, Ha Hong-san, the often controversial elder sister, shocked viewers by ending her life rather than be used as political leverage. Some applauded her final stand as a symbol of agency. Others felt it lacked depth. Her arc, while complex, never fully justified such an abrupt end. What unites these two deaths is a shared critique: they felt narratively unmotivated, robbing the audience of emotional closure and meaningful purpose. A shift in modern storytelling expectations. The public backlash wasn't just about sadness, it was about narrative integrity. Today's viewers are sophisticated. They understand that not every story ends happily. But they also expect tragedies to resonate, to reflect character growth or thematic arcs. In The Prisoner of Beauty, Wei Liang and Qiao Fan's deaths stirred pain but offered no insight. Instead of catharsis, they left confusion, like punctuation marks in the wrong place. A new reading: were their deaths a mirror of war's absurdity? Still, there's a compelling counter-view: perhaps these meaningless deaths were intentional. In war, heroes don't always die in glory. Love doesn't always survive. Perhaps the show dared to break the romantic myth that every good person gets a good ending. If this was the intention, it's bold, perhaps even brilliant. But the question remains, was it told well enough to be understood as such? Final thoughts: a masterpiece tainted by missed potential. The Prisoner of Beauty gave audiences a rich world of loyalty, betrayal, and enduring love. But it also left scars, some deliberate, others, perhaps, the result of rushed plotting. The Man-Shao pairing may have delivered a satisfying climax, but the show's true emotional gravity might lie in what it chose to destroy along the way. Did Wei Liang and Qiao Fan deserve their ends? The internet says no. But maybe, just maybe, their deaths weren't about deserving at all, but about reminding us that in war, not all losses come with reasons.